Rationality can arise out of complexity. Emergent materialists argue that a system of complex physical processes undergoing complex interactions can give rise to properties or phenomena that do not exist in the individual components that comprise the system. The emergent materialist will cite the history of science. When something was deemed mysterious, it was later demystified when the underlying complex processes were understood. Therefore, the emergent materialist responds to the argument from reason by postulating that our ability to reason, more specifically, the ability to achieve an insight into a conclusion, is based on complex processes in the brain. Once these processes are understood, our ability to reason will have been explained. The common example that emergent materialists cite is water, H2O. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, which are gases, yet when combined chemically they form the life-sustaining liquid. Water has properties that hydrogen and oxygen do not. Examples like these provide the emergent materialist with the confidence to argue that a property can arise from a system of complex processes even though it is not present in the components of that system. Nevertheless, this example is misplaced because the argument articulated in this chapter is not a case of a physical thing bringing into existence another physical thing like gases hydrogen and oxygen giving rise to water's physical properties. On the contrary, what requires explaining is a non-physical property having a mental insight into a conclusion arising from physical one's blind physical processes. If the complex processes that underpin brain activity were understood, and all of their causal interactions were mapped out, how would that explain our ability to reason? It would still not answer the question, how can we acquire truth using our ability to form insights with minds allegedly based on prior blind, random, physical processes? To simply refer to complexity does not explain anything, and it is tantamount to saying, it just happens. It seems to me that emergent materialism is a weak attempt to fill the gap created by a naturalistic worldview. Chapter 7 explains how emergent materialism cannot explain subjective conscious experiences. The wider implication of adopting emergent materialism is that we allow theories that cannot explain the physical relations or processes of a system. If one argues that complexity can explain new properties, without explaining how they emerge, then why should we expect a theory to explain anything? Merely waiting for our scientific understanding to improve is not an argument. This is equivalent to explaining to a trainee builder that you can build a house by having many bricks. This is not true. Other things are also required to build a house, such as cement, a design, bricklayers, plumbers, electricians, tools, etc. In conclusion, emergent materialism is not a coherent theory, it is an incoherent attempt to fill the gap left by naturalism. Computers are rational, therefore, physical processes can explain rationality.